Hamas protesters storm the Capitol. Ladies and gentlemen, it's another J6 in the making. This happened yesterday, I believe, or if not then, the day before. I've been out the loop, y'all, but we're going to do a reaction video to Benny Johnson, his coverage on the Capitol being stormed. Oh, boy.
December 7th, 1941. September 11th, 2001.
And you usually don't see the protesters on this level, so that's, I think, why you're starting to see the arrests being made over here.
A date which will live in infamy.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And now the...
Ain't that the truth? Right when I queued this video up, I heard him say that part. That's the one part that I did watch before I played it, y'all. But I was like, man, that's the truth right there. Especially on social media and you know, YouTube or whatever. But let's continue.
Pro-terrorist left is beginning to see exactly what happens to them when they stage an insurrection at the Capitol. Check this out. This is footage from seconds ago. This is still ongoing.
Crazy.
Inside of the United States Capitol House Rotunda, a building called the Cannon Building.
And what happened with this, though, y'all? Like, this popped all over the feed, and I shared a clip on Instagram. It's everywhere. But what ended up happening with these people, y'all? Who knows, right?
Where hundreds of Congress members have their offices. It has been stormed by radical pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist leftists, and these people are behaving violently. They're threatening members of Congress.
And there's like some guys right there, y'all. They look like Jews in the middle. Like, what are these guys doing? This is pretty odd, pretty crazy scene. But let's continue.
They're screaming. They're disrupting official proceedings. And ladies and gentlemen, they are getting their arrested. Thank God. Okay, so what is going on here? There is inside and outside a mass of protesters demanding that America back Hamas, effectively, back a terrorist organization, demanding a ceasefire in Gaza, in Israel, and trying to demand the federal government do their policy prescription. Now, it's amazing to me because there was a time when peaceful protest and a redress of grievances were something that we protected inside of our constitutional rights. But those times are long gone. And so now, if you're going to stage a violent insurrection at the United States Capitol, then you best be prepared for the consequences. We shall see. Get ready for some selective prosecution here. Marjorie Taylor Greene was filming this video. This is what it looked like from her office. Outside the balcony from her office. Look at this.
Wow.
It's an absolute invasion of the Capitol. How did all
that looks bad, y'all. Let's be honest.
these people get into the building? Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, did the Capitol Police just let them in? They arrested everybody on January 6th. Well, people are getting arrested. Check this out. This is the footage of just a small little cadre of officers heading down to face the mob of Palestinian terrorist sympathizers and terrorist organizers. So check it out. This is from the balcony of the Capitol building. This is what it looked like outside.
Man, why does DC look like that, though? You see the DC in the background, y'all? When I went to DC, it was beautiful walking around, you know, downtown Washington, D.C., like, man, it was something else, right? And me and my buddy were, like, all ignorant and, you know, naive. We're all trumped out walking around D.C., y'all. That's whenever BLM and Antifa was just beating down Trump supporters in public. We didn't even care. Not that we were trying to be tough. We were just so in awe of how D.C. looked. We're just walking around looking at the buildings, and it was crazy. Everything was, you know, bordered up, or they had gates and everything. Like, it was a crazy time at that time. But we were just walking around D.C., y'all, and it was a wild time, like I said. But I did notice when I left D.C., I left with a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest. I almost got into it at a park with a bunch of Antifa losers, and the police didn't do nothing. They were trying to basically arrest us at the park. But I digress. We were there, and I noticed that D.C., it's like cloudy, where it was cloudy then like it is here. I think even like the day that, you know, all the J6ers were there as well. Is this the weather down there, I guess? But either way, very odd. In my opinion, you know, just the way that the weather is there. I know people are going to say this is how it is here, Nino, but I'm from West Texas, y'all. Sun in the sky, oh my. But one thing I noticed here on this clip, and every time I see DC, it's somewhat dark or cloudy. Take it for what it's worth.
But it sounds like outside. You can see up there in the white, you see Marjorie Taylor Greene up there. And so you have the typical blue hairs, lunatics, leftists, no eggs, cat ladies, soy simps.
I saw a Ukraine flag, y'all.
And generally people who like are deeply deserving of a shower. Hopefully they'll get one in solitary confinement. This guy fighting with the cops, getting arrested. Good Lord. That is pathetic. Look at him go. Look at him shaking. I don't remember January 6th protesters being so infantile. Here's another person being arrested. Whoa. This is what it looks like inside of the Capitol Rotunda right now. So you see the arrests, and then we'll zip over here to inside of the Rotunda, where the protesters have taken over this place that is reserved just for members of Congress, right? You're not allowed to be up here. Wow. So here they are chanting and screaming.
And one thing I noticed, y'all, and I had pointed this out like to myself, right? But basically, there's a lot of lights. If you see in the corners, there's these big old lights, and they're usually for a studio setup or for doing film or video. I don't know if that's normal, if this is just staged, or this is just what they what they do over there. But like I said, I noticed they have a bunch of lights around this whole scene, I would say, and I thought that was kind of odd. Let me know what you think in the comments, y'all. If you thought that was odd too.
Inside of the Rotunda and throughout the balcony.
The Rotunda.
So once more, not a place that you are allowed to be inside of the United States Capitol. They are breaking in, and we will cover all of the crimes that they have now broken, that they should, of course, be put immediately into pretrial solitary confinement in the DC Gulag. Pro-Hamas group occupies congressional building, demands a ceasefire in Gaza. This is, various summary of what they're doing here. You can see here.
Again, be careful on Twitter, y'all. There's a bunch of propaganda. I highly recommend that you vet everything that you see on Twitter right now. They have not stopped both sides. It's crazy. Facebook relationships and family members are going at it. Y'all all over the internet. People are picking one side over the other. And I'm just saying, Christ is Lord and I love my country. Let's continue.
Voice for Peace. You can see where they're plotting and planning this protest. Of course, this type of plot is what put members of the Proud Boys into prison for 22 years, right? Just like simple text messaging and organizing.
That's what we're saying. Like, is it going to be the same for them? We don't know, but I think that's a valid question. Are they going to get 20 years, 20 plus years? Free the homies, y'all. Let's continue.
About a protest is what's locking up people for 22 years for the rest of their lives, ostensibly. House alert. Access restrictions. This is a message from the House Sergeant at Arms. Due to First Amendment activities, Capitol grounds, all pedestrians and entry points, House buildings have been restricted to members and staff only. So now they're locking down the Capitol. Anti-Israel protesters mob Capitol building, leading to arrests. So people are getting arrested. I guess that's a good thing. 3,000. Okay, well, I don't actually know. They don't actually say. These are the casualty numbers in the conflict in Gaza, Israel. And so protest from If Not Now When and Jewish Voices for Peace demanding a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. They're being arrested after staging an anti-Israel demonstration and mobbing the U.S. Capitol. So here is what that protest looks like, by the way. Now you can see vandalism here. Here they are writing on the Capitol walls. So this is vandalism, obviously, and defacing of federal property. There you go. Oh, do those guys look Israeli to you? I don't know. I'll just let you answer that. Do those guys look like Israeli to you? Like, don't worry. These are Jewish people protesting. Really? Just asking questions. Vandalizing the Capitol. Okay. Here are the arrests that are being made. Because of course you're not allowed to be up here, right? There's a restricted area.
And I'm pretty sure just looking at it now, maybe I don't think it's staged. Maybe I think that's I can just tell by that tripod on those lights and those, maybe a camera there. That's probably basically a normal setup. So I don't want to be too conspiratorial. But let's continue.
So here are the arrests being made.
Unless they knew they were going to do that, and they set the cameras up to get it on film. But I'm pretty sure these cameras and these lights, like I said, are always there, set up there. I would imagine. Who knows? Correct me in the comments. Thank you.
Pretty easy to arrest these guys. And here comes more. And
that's what I'm talking about. Old-fashioned phones. Hey, y'all, for real. I got a nice camera here, y'all. It's nice and all that, y'all. But I'm going to be honest. Any content creators out there, y'all, you got a phone, just, point and shoot on your telephone. You can do pretty good making content with your phone. Shout out those with their phones in there, y'all. The phones are just quick, easy access, good camera settings for spare of the moment kind of situations like this where they're beating down these, they're arresting these protesters or they're harassing them.
Classic Greta Thunberg arrest, where they carry the lady out.
She's wearing a mask.
And here comes more arrests. You're in a restricted area of the Capitol building.
Get out of there.
There you go. If you F around, you shall find out. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, here's again Here's our favorite arrest. This guy.
Is that a guy? Is that a guy?
I did something illegal, and now I'm suffering the consequences of my own action. Vampire getting hit by holy water. This is what it looks like outside. Again, outside and inside, there's just mob activity. Now,
Man.
outside and inside, there's mob activity. People are screaming. People are crying. Marjorie Taylor Greene is live streaming.
She's
A bunch of
savage.
views on this live stream. Marjorie Taylor Greene showing that there's an insurrection happening now at the United States Capitol. Marjorie said, well, and she's right. Who's leading that insurrection? Well, Donald Trump is facing trial and a special counsel investigation for inciting an insurrection inside of the U.S. Capitol. Democrat Rashida Tlaib, unhinged anti-Semite, goes after Biden and her fellow Democrats, saying that it's a threat. Oh, okay, got it. Here she is outside fomenting the crowd. Here's the crowd. This is the crowd that marched up and staged an insurrection. So this is exactly what they said Donald Trump did on January 6th. They're trying to put Donald Trump away for a million years for doing the exact same thing. Despite being proven wrong that Israel bombed a hospital in Gaza, Rashida Tlaib breaks down in tears at the pro-Hamas rally.
I don't know about that. Again, I don't know about anything that's happening over there, y'all. I don't believe nobody. Not even Benny here. I don't believe anybody, y'all.
Outside of the Capitol, repeating the claim that Israel bombed a hospital. She is lying. So she is using her office to lie to people, to whip them up into a frenzy, and stage an insurrection.
Wow.
My God. That is like literally exactly what they say Donald Trump did. Wow. Well, we'll be able to see what happens next. Never understand why it's okay for certain groups to stage an insurrection more than others. Which one of these looks like an insurrection to you? Here are the people walking very daintily between the velvet ropes on January 6th.
And that's what my wife said, everybody. She said, that looks nothing like J6, right? And if you compare it, obviously, my wife was like, dang, should they have went in and acted like this instead? I don't want to say too much here, but let's continue.
And here are the people screaming and wailing inside of the U.S. Capitol at this very moment. On the left, you have actual pro-terrorist insurrectionists occupying the U.S. Capitol. On the right, you have a 65-year-old grandma peacefully protesting. Guess which one the Biden DOJ will charge as a terrorist? Guess. I'll let you guess. Peaceful protesters, domestic violent extremists. Yep. It's only a matter of time. So, Julie Kelly, my favorite person when it comes to January 6th reporting, without question and without any reservation, I can say she's the best reporter on January 6th charges. No one does better than Julie Kelly, friend of the show. If not obstruction charge, the demonstrator should face the same January 6th charges. Civil disorder, interfering, impeding law enforcement, parading in the Capitol, disorderly conduct, using loud, abusive, threatening language in the Capitol, conspiracy.
Man.
Yeah. Of course they should. Because look at here. Here's members of Congress.
That's really what they're doing there. They're acting amuck in there. They're going crazy, y'all. That was wild. That was look pretty dangerous. These lefties, they're pretty wild. They're pretty crazy.
That have actually had their offices desecrated.
Wow.
This guy had his I Stand With Israel sign ripped down from his office. This guy is from Texas. His name's Randy Weber. And he had his office violated by these people. Marjorie Taylor Greene took a photo of one of their phones. Okay?
Wow.
So this is some guy on a phone. The chat says global intifada. Now, intifada is, of course, the terrorist word from Palestinians to kill the Jews, to destroy all of Israel.
Wow.
All right? You have the first intifada, second intifada, global intifada. Intifada. Frittata. Frittata tamale. Tamale. Well, these people are going to be tamales because hopefully they'll be totally roasted by the DC justice system, right? I'm just biting. I'm waiting.
We will keep you updated, y'all. Again, when I went to DC, the Trumpers, I was with some Trumpers. We got into it at the park pretty hot and heavy. They were drinking, the Antifa BLMers were drinking beer at the park. They're a bunch of like skaters and lowlifes, in my opinion, but they were drinking beer. You know, we were getting into it with them. They took one of the young sister's MAGA hat, and we went up there to kind of help defend her, and they were threatening to arrest us. The DC police, and then I heard when I was there, I was like, man, why are they threatening to arrest us? And these thugs are at the park drinking, getting drunk, lowlifes, being violent against women. I was tripping out about that. And somebody told me, something about the chief of police couldn't do nothing, or he was a libtard or something wild, to the effect of that. It was just a lot of injustice going on in DC at the time. Will these people be held accountable? Again, it's in DC, y'all. I dealt with the police there. They are very, I don't know. They just don't like they want to, enforce any law or do right by the law.
I cannot wait For Merrick Garland to charge these people. And Christopher Wray to charge these people. For our justice system to start. The gears to begin to grind against these individuals. Text like this is Julie Kelly again. So Marjorie Taylor Greene takes this photo of one of their phones, right? Showing that they're organizing a global intifada, an Arabic rebellion and uprising. She took a photo of one of the insurrectionist photos. Julie Kelly saying, texts like these were used as incriminating evidence in the Proud Boys seditious conspiracy case, which led to the convictions and prison sentences of up to 22 years. So how long will this guy go to prison? How long? Now, it's not just at the Capitol. This is just today. Earlier this week, there was an insurrection at the White House, one of their favorite targets. And you can see here all of the violent imagery of people being arrested at the White House as the same protesters stormed the White House, jumped barricades, attacked cops. Now, speaking to my own experience in Washington, D.C. as a reporter, I can tell you that the left has carte blanche to rage through the Capitol, to storm up to buildings, to desecrate them, and to try and burn them down. I've seen it again and again and again. The Kavanaugh protests are ones that come to mind.
BLMers.
But various other feminist protests and Women's March and so on and so forth. These are massive protests where the left just wiles out in D.C. and does stuff that is absolutely and empirically 1,000 times worse than anything you saw on January 6th.
Why do they get away with it, though? That's what I'm saying. They seem to get away with it. Like when they used to be beating, citizens up downtown, with the BLM protests. It's like they were getting away with all these horrendous crimes. Couldn't even be on Instagram or any social media without scrolling and seeing the whole nation burning. And were they even being arrested, apprehended at all? Why do they get a pass? But the J6s are sitting there, locked up 20 plus years.
Okay, empirically, based on all data and available evidence, right? And I was there physically to catalog some of that evidence, right? I did a bunch of work during the Kavanaugh protests, for instance, and nothing ever happens to them. And so as a student of history and also as a parent to young children, and these people all behave like prepubescent, screaming, psychotic little children.
They act like animals, let's be honest. They act like savages, real savages, stanky ones.
Who desperately need a spanking. And here they are, jumping over the barricades, fighting with cops. Where are your charges? Where are the charges against those people? Fighting against the cops. The only way it's ever going to stop is...
How?
Consequences. So what are the consequences going to be for these people that are arrested? Are they going to be given the exact same consequences as January 6ers? Is that the rule now? This is precisely what should happen. Precisely what should happen. What happened to January 6ers were wrong. You reset the table, and now everyone's going to have to eat from the same table.
Wow.
Now, effectively, if you're going to protest in Washington, D.C., you better just expect to go to prison. Is that right? No.
Dang.
Are those the rules? Okay, well then you better damn well apply them to both sides, especially the people who are organizing with terrorist groups to terrorize the Capitol. And let me tell you, those people aren't wearing MAGA hats. They're wearing the little, whatever you call it.
And mask.
Or Hamas. Little green headband.
And let's be honest, Benny, I saw some people wearing some Jewish clothing too. Let's be honest. Okay, so keep it fair.
For Hamas. So, them's the breaks. You best be charging. And charge away. Okay? I look forward to it. I'm licking my chops. Won't hold my breath, though. Also, Rashida Tlaib should be kicked out of Congress. She should be expelled from Congress. She's clearly a terrorist sympathizer, and she's clearly fomenting terrorism against the United States Capitol.
Wow.
Enough of the charade. This entire thing was a total mistake. The only reason Rashida Tlaib can even win in these districts is that they these stupid regimes in America relocate so many people from outside of the country into one congressional district, then you can get people like her who just wild-eyed, terrorist-sympathizing, anti-Semitic radicals.
I can't believe it. He's got a good point. He explains it right there. How do they get elected, y'all? A psychopath getting elected by psychopaths, I guess.
Who foment this kind of thing. It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Totally agree. Benny Johnson with the video. We just want to know, y'all, will they be held accountable? Will there be consequences? And will they get 20 plus years like the J6ers, ladies and gentlemen? Excuse me. What I seen in DC with these people was alarming. That was a real insurrection, in my opinion. That thing was crazy. The hypocrisy. Again, will they be held accountable? Let me know in the comments what you think, y'all. Usually they get away. For some odd reason, they get away. That's the America we live in today. I guess if you're on a certain side, hey, they look away and you get away. Thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know in the comments what you think. You're an American, you're a patriot, you got grit. Act like it. I'm out.